Shifting now to Beirut, a city broken, a city where the dead are being buried, and anger is rising to the surface. 2 days after a powerful explosion flattened whole neighborhoods, a collective effort to clean up the streets turned into a protest. People are fed up with government corruption. Furious, it appears negligence led to the explosion. Lebanese officials promised to investigate the cause, but few in Beirut seem to trust them. People want new leadership and an international investigation into the blast. That's the French President Emmanuel Macron. He was in Beirut today to tour the destruction, and he was met with pleas for the world to help. Macron says he supports an independent probe into the blast, and he warns that without change, Lebanon could run out of food and fuel within months. Lebanon has now begun an official period of national mourning. Funerals are taking place for the victims. At least 137 people are now confirmed to have died, and more than 5,000 are injured. There are fears others might be found under the rubble. As Crystal Goomansingh reports, there is no way Lebanon can recover from this on its own.
They're chanting, "We will pay our blood and soul for the sake of Beirut." Powerful words that speak to their renewed determination. Average people are focused on moving forward just days after their world was ripped apart.
We cannot keep living in sorrow. We cannot keep living we cannot keep depressed. We have to think on what to do.
Fadi Hadros is a Lebanese Canadian. He couldn't believe his eyes after the blast, but he has faith in his people.
You know, in Lebanon, we have, each party, each team, each community has their own political views and all this. We all put all of this together, all on our side, and we get united.
But some are still angry. The Lebanese justice minister was heckled on the street and water bottles tossed at her. The mood much different for the French president. The student asked that he deal with the corruption in Lebanon. Emmanuel Macron is the first foreign leader to visit following the explosion. Lebanon is a former French colony. He told people aid would get to those who need it, and that need is growing.
We are now trying to see how we could help the survivors, especially the people that they have lost everything and now they are displaced.
The port where the blast originated was one of the busiest in the eastern Mediterranean. Nearly all goods used in Lebanon passed through this site. It was also a hub for Jordan, Syria, Iraq, and Persian Gulf states. Some container liners are diverting ships to Lebanon's smaller port in Tripoli to keep supply lines running. Other donated supplies are being flown in. There are reports the Lebanese government has given an investigative committee 4 days to determine who's responsible for the deadly blast. Crystal Goomansingh, Global News, London.